That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.
What? Looks
What kind
like
of
Ray
cup
is
have you
having
got?
problems. Just a regular coffee cup that makes it warm. Keeps it warm, not makes it, but keeps it warm.
Oh, it makes it warm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
No, I have one of those desk things where you can set your coffee cup or something on top of it, but I never used it. It just seems
doesn't
kind of
work.
weird. Yeah, I was going to say it seems kind of weird.
Doesn't work.
So yeah, that's pretty much my life. Besides toys, what about you, Ray? How's your life been?
I think my connection's terrible right now. That's what I think.
Probably
was like-
so. He's like, that's my life. He's like, it's just terrible internet connection.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean,
I'll be right back.
that's fine. But yeah,
So let's talk about Suicide Squad before Ray gets back.
hurry before you get back. Yeah, it has no opinion whatsoever on what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Let's try that.
And it was a great movie.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
on
thought
to
the
the next
Suicide
one.
Squad. I don't want to talk about it again, but
Yeah.
but I thought it was a great movie. Oh, hey, what's up? No,
You
but
know- You know what? This was the first movie I actually went back to a theater to watch, and after it, I'll say this: I went to see it. I went to see it in theaters for like the biggest reason, besides just going back to a theater setting, was I wanted to support it. You know, I like James Gunn, and you know, I did want to support it somehow.
Mhm.
But you know what? At the end of it, I was like, I miss just kind of sitting in my house, being able to have some control over what I'm watching. Like, if I got to go to the bathroom, I like being able to pause it and run to the bathroom. I liked also having subtitles. Sometimes I just want to have subtitles on and be able to watch what's being said. But
Really?
yeah, I do
so
subtitles.
you don't hear.
for
So you don't hear
90%.
what's being said. You want to watch it instead.
Yes, 90% of the stuff I watch, I have subtitles on.
Subtitles. Yeah, I've heard that's a thing with some people. Like some people watch everything with subtitles. I'll watch foreign movies with subtitles, but I feel like it takes away from the experience a little bit. If they're not, especially like if they're just common variety subtitles, just going for the movie.
Yeah.
Unless it's something, I will say that one thing that I do turn them on for is probably like HBO shows. Like we had to start turning them on for The Witcher. For
Or
that
like
show.
dialogue heavy,
then-
or if there's sound mixing issues with it, with how
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna say stuff
Like-
we
like
just watched.
like a Christopher Nolan movie sometimes.
Not
Like
really.
Tenet,
Right?
Tenet, like I've been trying to watch Tenet, and I have to have subtitles on.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Tenet it wasn't a matter of like sound. It was just like watching the movie repeatedly to understand everything that's going on. But no, I mean there are some stuff like that. Yeah, The Crowd. Oh, you're talking about Bane, and I can understand Bane completely fine. There was a movie like that. Somebody complained about Bane like that. And I'm like, Bane was actually I could hear him, but there was
I
another
could
movie that
understand
was
Tom
like
Hardy
that.
pretty well in the theater. I didn't really have any trouble understanding him.
Yeah, I just feel like there was a movie though where something was done like that where they were muffled and you couldn't hear them the whole time.
Well, I
can't remember
know.
what it was.
At least with his last few movies, Nolan. I have seen a lot of stuff where people have had problems. I don't know if maybe it's a theater issue with how they're like playing the audio tracks, but I have heard sound issues with a lot of his movies, like his recent ones, like Tenet and what was the war one, Austin?
Oh, you're talking about Dunkirk?
Dunkirk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's weird. I don't know, because I didn't get to see.
Dunkirk in theaters.
Well, no, I saw Dunkirk. I
you
saw
did?
Dunkirk
Okay.
in IMAX theaters, and that was an IMAX movie. It was fantastic. It was loud, but it was Interstellar. I watched in IMAX. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
It was loud.
Then it was Tenet. Then you didn't see.
I was going to
Tenet.
say Tenet was the one we didn't get to see in theaters because of COVID. So I just ended up buying it when it came out. But yeah, I mean, I've heard of the sound mixing issues too, but I always feel like maybe because he's so exact with his sound mixes and things like that if a theater's not on point, maybe if they're
mess up
slacking
the
in the
whole
sound department, they'll
experience.
probably just screw it
Yeah.
up. like the mix is all off or something, so the dialogue's getting drowned out. Probably something like that, because I don't think anybody like Christopher Nolan's going to purposely just go, "Oh, we messed up the sound mix. Sorry." You know, he but no, like I'll say the Crown was a show that we've had to turn on subtitles.
Oh yeah,
for because
dialogue heavy stuff.
It's dialogue heavy, and they just
accents.
expect you to know that it's the accents, but they just expect you to know everything going on.
Yeah.
They expect you to know every character, every subject, just everything. And I'm like, me and her both are just lost half the time. So,
well, quick question. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what your answers are going to be. So, with the Suicide Squad, did you like it more than the first one?
yes. Yeah.
You know, and I say that as someone like I enjoy it, and unironically, I enjoy the original. You know, there's stuff about it. There's like a weird charm to it that I enjoy, but this was like hands and arms and legs and all the stuff above the it just really elevated a lot of it.
I agree, because I feel like the first one was fun. I know a lot of people didn't like the first one. I thought it was fun. It was good. I mean, I've already said before, the only problem I found with it was just the villain was just outrageous, because I just felt like the movie,
some editing issues.
Yeah, there were editing issues that they or just story issues. Maybe they could have worked better with the villain. But anyway, beyond that, I thought the first one was okay. This one, I mean, I couldn't deny it. This movie was really good. Yeah. It was really fun.
And you know what? I ended up by the end of it, because I don't really know much about Bloodsport as a character. Now I've loved Deadshot since before the movie. He was a great character in the comics, so I enjoyed him in the first movie. And I was kind of disappointed we weren't getting him, but after this one, I loved Idris Elba's Bloodsport more than Deadshot from the last one. I think the biggest thing that won me over was it was just such a human little thing was his rat phobia.
Yeah.
that I don't know, there's something just so human about that and relatable. I was like, yeah, and the way he would the little squeal he has when the little Sebastian tries to offer him the friendship leaf. And then the ending, the payoff at the ending, because of the fact he doesn't like rats, and they all have to run over him, and he's just like, Well, then also, I thought you were actually talking about the very end, like the last thing is Sebastian sits on his lap, and he actually, he kind of overcomes his fear. But and that's another thing that I was getting at is I love that you do get a clear arc with this movie with the characters, especially like him and Ratcatcher, but like him. Bloodsport's not the same person he was at the start of the story. That's what I love about it. Like you can see that he's clearly a different person by the end of it. Now I love that the gesture of him, reaching out to Sebastian is kind of like a really good visual interpretation that this, he is at a full character arc. He's not the same as he was. Yeah, like that he's kind of, maybe he's understood that he, there is good in him. He just never really cared to acknowledge it.
Plus, the argument with his daughter was really hilarious.
Oh yes,
a style watch.
But no, I thought the movie was great. I mean, I think the standout for me was Polka Dot Man and King Shark. I knew I was going to love King Shark. I just knew that was a hands down winner because they had Sly doing it, and I just thought I'm like he's going to probably give Groot vibes, or something like that. But oh my God, he was just so good. He was just such a good character. And then Polka Dot Man was just,
I've never seen mommy issues personified so brilliantly.
Oh gosh,
so disturbingly on camera. Like,
I don't know if anybody,
issues,
I was going to say, I don't know if anybody else to do that except James Gunn, like in that humoristic way. It was just, oh my God.
Well, the most disturbing part was, the club shot when he's dancing around. He's got the girl. He's got some girls around him, and all of a sudden turns around. Everybody around him is his mom.
And also, I think James Gunn's the only guy who can act. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We do spoilers. People have seen it.
Okay, so I think James Gunn is the only director that can pull off Starro, and it legitimized Starro.
And he did it without having to change him, in any kind of drastic way. I don't think Marvel would have even gone that type of route with him. I think they would have done something to stylize it a little more, but he basically copy and pasted the look of it. He just added texture to it from the comics. That's but
pretty much
exactly, yeah. Just added texture, muscle, basically
was
looked at the
freaky.
artist and he said, if this thing existed for real, just as it is on this page, show me what it would look like.
Pretty much. I mean, it was freaky too. I mean, introducing that element really I could tell it had him utilizing his like slither muscle, because it felt like that a lot of that was like callbacks to Slither, and that movie disturbs me no other.
Well, I think what really helped and made Starro so terrifying was when you saw the lab where they show the after effects of the people.
Oh,
it's a cheesy looking starfish, but then you see the damage it does. Like it can keep half a body still working and functioning, or when they pulled it off the person's face, they took the face with it.
Yeah.
Like you kind of see the stakes of how dangerous this thing is. And God, and what was it? What else was I going to say? What we were talking about Polka Dot Man earlier, I was not expecting to care as much about it, that character as I ended up. I thought I was going to enjoy it, but I really, rooted for him. Even though I was walking in thinking he was going to be doomed. He was definitely a character that didn't really seem like he was. His first line you hear in the movie was, I hope so. When Bloodsport said, we're going to die.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm with you. I thought that he was going to be a easily dispensable one, like near the beginning or something. But wow, speaking of that opening like mission, when you see the other team.
So before you do that though, going in, who did you think the first person to die would be?
I was thinking about I was not expecting Weasel.
Yeah, I was going to say I wasn't expecting
joke,
him.
though.
I thought it was going to be. I mean, I was expecting it to be
Flula Borg's character, maybe.
No. The one you start off with. Rooker's character,
Derlin.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the first one you see die. Like I just thought that was going to be kind of the way it goes or something. But I don't know, man. Like I'll tell you, I got a charge when I saw Pete Davidson take it. And I was like, yeah, thank God. Thank God. Me and my wife both looked at each other and was like, that was good. Like, thank God.
Yeah. The joke at the beginning, though, when Weasel, belly flopped into the water, and they're just the single shot sound, no music or anything. Just they're watching him just flail in the water, and then you see Frank like, did anyone check if Weasel could swim? And then nobody in the office, you can see not a word was being said because nobody thought to check. But,
so that was terrible. Like for him to basically drown was just bad.
And then he comes back. I mean, post credits, he survives.
He survives and runs off
to go like on a murder spree again.
Yeah, kill a bunch of kids.
Jesus.
But
so did you think that Blackguard actually paid off, or was paid off by, or do you think that was Waller setting him up, like telling him to do that?
That was my guess. Was Waller set? Well, I think because his description, even if you look it up, in the stuff, is that he's easily manipulated. So it wasn't, it's not a far leap in my mind that Waller set up circumstances to make him think that he did it himself, like to contact them and turn on them, where he thinks that he was doing it, where he was just like given the right opportunities and guided to do it. And like Waller's that manipulative, and it played to her what she wanted was she needed a distraction to get them in without anybody thinking about looking for them.
And it super surprised me Captain Boomerang bought it that early.
Yeah,
I mean,
which they tried to make his a little more like emotional
because Harley reacted to it.
Yeah.
But I will say this: at least he's not. His death wasn't the product of his own idiocy, like some of them. His death was the product of Mongal being a dummy, and jumping on a helicopter.
That was hilarious when she jumped on that helicopter. I laughed so hard. Like,
I'll take the bird.
Like just that. She was just screaming. Oh God, that. Oh man, I love how that all went south. It was great.
What about the soundtrack to the film? What did y'all think of that?
That was good.
Yeah, it was good.
The music choices, like after that, the montage where you go across all the dead Suicide Squad members and God, what was the name of that band? But yes, the song's name is "People Who Died." And
I can't
that was
remember.
great. And the biggest part to me, my favorite musical cue was a song I'd never even heard of, but Harley's Big Escape. You know, from the
Yeah.
I can't remember music from it right now.
the song's called Just a Gigolo.
Oh, was it David Lee Roth?
Yeah,
No,
I was going to
no,
say,
no.
I think,
It's
it was David Lee Roth.
Not that version though. It was like
But yeah, not that version, but it's a David Lee
Prima.
Roth video. Yeah.
But that is and that was a great sequence. What did y'all think of that?
Oh yeah, I thought it was cool too. Yeah.
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 And then they said that Margot Robbie did the whole unlocking thing for real.
Yeah. And
I was like-
James Gunn, like he was so mad at himself afterwards because the shot he had, he wanted to actually have her face so that he could showcase that she did this herself, but she had that little lace cut of the dress like right over that area, so it's a perfect like block just of her face. So like he in interviews he's kind of lamented on like he wished he could have just gone and snipped that off and so he could show that fully show that she was doing it herself and it wasn't a stunt double.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that was a very good movie. I mean, it was a really good movie. I know it's getting kind of some criticism. I think it's probably from the Snyder folk, though.
Yeah, I've seen stuff from Marvel people too. I don't know what the deal is. Like one of them, some of their criticisms are really weird. Like out of left field. Like I'm wondering where it's coming from. Like what's the deal? Like one guy I know that was a friend. He was getting mad, like saying like I guess it's all it's all about these white guy directors. It's all basically I don't know what it was, and he was mad about Harley Quinn. Her characterization, I guess it wasn't proper.
I don't see how you could say it wasn't proper. I mean,
he was pointing out a tweet that she is like because of her relationship with Poison Ivy in the comics. And then someone put in a tweet like, "Oh, the only thing that they got wrong with this movie was saying Harley was straight." And I was thinking, they never said she wasn't, or she was, or I mean, they never said she wasn't or was. She was just no labels were put. But Harley throughout the comics has always been both ways. She swings both directions. So I mean, her having having a jaunt with the dictator of the place, there's nothing really off character about that. Harley would enjoy that up until the point where she ended up killing him after he said he was going to torture kids. So I mean, it just fits.
That was a good scene too, by the way. I love when she just totally was like, "Nope, you talk about killing kids, I'm ending you right here."
I was not.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting her to be the one to kill him. Like I saw the setup of the shot and I was thinking something was going to happen to him, but I thought it was going to be maybe something outside, like the general maybe might have someone assassinate him or something. And that will drive Harley to go kill all of them, that we see later. But no, she did it herself.
So what do you think about Peacemaker?
Oh. I can't wait to see what they do with that. I loved John Cena's performance as him. Yeah. I loved his little the little game that he and Bloodsport had at the camp. the little kill contest they were having with each other. And the absurdity of it at the end when they found out that they just killed all the people that were going to be their allies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him. Nope.
And how brutal he was, like at points, there's that one shot where he's just walking across one guy laying down. I think he's injured because it looks like he's got the cover over him.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he's injured, and he just hits him with that a bunch of times.
Yeah, like probably. I was gonna say he chopped him like 3 or 4 times, like tat tat tat, ka, just like left it in him. I'm like, oh my god. No, they me and my wife. I mean, I'm not a big John Cena fan. Neither is she. So it was like his character's kind of give or take. I mean, to me he does exactly what I think he's supposed to do. Like he annoys the crap out of me. I don't like him at all. So, but I feel like that's what the character's kind of supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So he did his job well. Like I don't hate him. I just don't care for John Cena out of all the wrestler actor people. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of.
I enjoyed him. I really enjoyed him. Like it, but in a way, it's not like I'm not trying to emulate him or anything. But Cena's performance as one, so and you see the flashes of he could be a good person if he wasn't so fanatical in his belief. Like there's the small little nice moment at the bar, at the club when they're getting ready to like wait for Guy Screeves to show up, and he does a little thing where he tells the waitress to bring a drink out for little Sebastian. That tiny little moments like that, kind of show that he could be a little bit better. It's almost like I think Gunn, has that in there for later. I think we're going to see more of that in the show later on. And one good thing about his performance was when the big thing happens with him, when he does the really unspeakable act and he kills Flag, you can see you can see he didn't want to do it. Yeah. That was a great performance on Cena's end. Like, you can see like he was a little torn up about it. And especially when, Flag's last words to him, called him a joke, basically a hypocrite. And I'm really kind of hoping now that we know that he survived. So it's not just like a prequel story coming up. It's going to be after it.
Oh, I think it'd have to be. I mean, they wouldn't have shown that end scene.
Oh yeah.
But after.
Oh yeah. But after but all the way up to it, we were kept, James Gunn was keeping coy about it, whether or not this show was going to take place before or after the show's like, well, he might die in the movie. So it'll be all before. So knowing that, I like that we, you can really play with the after effects of what happened and what he did. And maybe I'm hoping like maybe it did mess with him. So he's going to have some conflicts, some inner conflict about who he is.
Yeah. I wonder if Amanda Waller's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Her whole little team was cool too, I thought.
Yeah.
And I like
Steve Agee.
Yeah.
I was going to say he was one of the people.
Yeah, and I like that they were, at the beginning they were kind of really, they had the very generic idea of like they're just terrible people. I mean, the first thing we see in the montage is them like, divvying up their bet money of who of these people were going to die. It's almost like a weird, absurd allegory on the prison system.
Yeah,
right.
But I loved at the end, we saw that, they do care. They care enough to help the situation where they knock out Amanda Waller of all people to help these convicts save the day. So, and they're going to be, I think both of them at the end that went to see Peacemaker are going to be in the show, I think, aren't they? The blonde girl and Steve Agee. Yeah, I think they're both in the cast list, I think.
Yeah. They would have to be because they're like his handlers, right? I guess now.
And what did y'all think of Ratcatcher 2?
Oh, she was good.
She was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, she reminded me of something like I feel like she would go good in a Star Wars movie or something. Something about her. She had this really cool presence.
Her voice was really good. I loved hearing her voice, especially like whenever she would interact with King Shark. Almost like she was almost in it it reminded me of a school teacher interacting with like a 6-year-old, 5 or 6-year-old. Like my favorite interaction between them is the fake mustache scene where Soul Story says, the walking shark's gonna have to hide. He's like, I wear a disguise. Oh, you're going to wear a disguise. See, what kind of disguise? Fake mustache. Oh, I love that.
Oh man,
but and I love that she was like and that's really a James Gunn thing that he makes this character the soul, the emotional core of the whole story. I love that. She's the one that connected with it, or she reached out to everybody. She's the one that tells Polka Dot Man that she thought his powers looked pretty cool. When he was kind of ashamed at how flamboyant they were. Yeah. She reaches out to Bloodsport and kind of, pulls the good out of him. She's the only, she's the one that connects with King Shark to kind of make him not feel so lonely.
So, tell me this: when Polka Dot Man, if he was to keep shooting those polka dots out and stuff like that, they wouldn't ever gather up on him like that, where he has to, expel them.
That would be my guess. Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering about that. So I'm just guessing that just means when he hasn't done any powers in a while, it just starts to gather up and build up until he has to or whatever he's doing.
Yeah. I don't know if that's comic accurate, but yeah,
I don't think so. Yeah. But I like that. I like that.
What a power!
Yeah.
What
in the
power.
comics, I think I think in the comics when he was first created, I think the dots would form stuff like objects for him to use.
Yeah.
So, but I like this. These are just like destructive little colorful dots.
The only thing that would have made this movie even better would be some, showing how each of these people were put in prison. I mean, that to tie it to something, like so we know Bloodsport is put in there.
Shot Superman.
Not Superman.
Well, we know Ratcatcher. She explained what she did, and hers was really. I feel like hers was to get her in that situation. I feel like hers was a product of Waller finding out about her.
Could be
because she got a bad sentence because she used her rats to help her rob the bank, which it sounds like she didn't actually have any weapons on her other than just using the rats, and they treated the rats as a weapon, so she got a harsher penalty. And then I bet Waller found out, and she thought, okay, I've got me a new recruit for the squad because that's going to be very useful.
Now, I did read online where somebody, I think James Gunn may have confirmed that Black Canary put, like the Journey Smollett Black Canary, put who's Michael Rooker play?
I keep forgetting his character's name, but Derlin.
Derlin. Yeah. She put him in prison.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how, he didn't explain how.
Yeah.
But then I've been learning all kind of cool stuff that they had planned for this movie. Have you been reading any of that stuff they've been showing? Like at one point, Deathstroke was supposed to lead instead of Bloodsport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen his. And I hope they give Joe Manganiello. God, I can't ever remember how to pronounce his name, but I hope he gets a chance to come back and play the character in an actual physical manner instead of just a little speaking role at the end of Justice League. Because he learned, he knows a lot of martial arts, and he did like a specific one. I think he learned a whole new martial art because he was training in preparation for the forthcoming Ben Affleck Batman movie, I think.
Oh, yeah, really? I was going to say, he was supposed to be a bigger part.
Yeah, he was going to, he was going to be the main villain, I think, of Ben Affleck's Batman film when Ben Affleck was directing before Matt Reeves came in and he stepped down.
Right. I think that was part of the reason they had that scene at the end of the Justice League movie. Yeah. Was it supposed to be sort of a setup for the Batman movie?
Yeah, because he basically Deathstroke was going to be dismantling Batman, like everything around him. Like he was like because he knows he's Bruce Wayne. He's gonna do stuff that's gonna like dismantle like Wayne Enterprises stuff to just like really hit him where it hurts to to be an effective. Be good at what he does.
That would have been cool to see them two face off like that. But I always thought Joe Manganiello was a good, and it's funny too thinking about where he started. If you really think about it, he was Flash Thompson in the first Spider-Man movie. When I saw that, me and my wife were rewatching those when I bought them in 4K, and I'm like, that's Joe Manganiello right there, right? And she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, look, he's so clean cut. He looks just like a little bro. Oh,
and then like the first draft had him not going after Starro, but after Superman.
Mm-hmm. Like an evil, like a Superman turned bad or something, or is it like an alternate universe Superman?
I don't know, but you got to wonder though if Justice League would have played out like Zack Snyder wanted it to, the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
If at some point Superman didn't turn bad, when he comes back, and then Batman brings him back or whatever, and maybe Suicide Squad would have played a part in that, where like they went after Superman because
they think he's still bad or something.
Somebody's got to save the world or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but I mean, Superman was the first villain of the movie, or the person they were going after.
Yeah, I mean, I think Deadshot, and that's the kind of funny thing is you can kind of see moments in Bloodsport's story where it feels like Deadshot. Yeah, this seems like a moment that was also tailored for Deadshot, specifically like the final showdown with him and Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big Deadshot move too, because I could have seen Floyd doing the exact same move. Wrist gun shoots right through Peacemaker's bullet.
Yeah, because I mean they had to do some crazy stuff for Bloodsport here.
Yeah,
I mean, so it seemed like they had to really shoehorn him into the role.
But for a character, if he was, even for a character that shoehorn, he had a great characterization.
Oh yeah,
I did love like the whole deal with him, like how his suit worked. That was really cool and inventive. Just pulling pieces of your armor off to make different weapons.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That was And then at the end, we see like what happens if he actually uses all the armor. He runs out of stuff and he has nothing left. So yeah, and then
I've been seeing the toys too. Like I've been the McFarlane figures, and I keep getting tempted. I'm like, man, I kind of want a polka dot, man.
I'm loving this figure, even though it's not the best Idris Elba.
It's weird though. So I wonder why they don't show him like on the box. I don't see him, I guess, advertised where you can take his mask off.
Well, no, this is the unmasked version. There's a masked version.
Oh, I got you. I've been seeing the masked versions.
Put his face up there again.
Yeah, this is it's a Walmart exclusive. It's not too bad. In person, it's not too bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
I do like that they even.
I've just seen way worse. I don't know. I wouldn't complain because I have seen so much worse.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. When you talk McFarlane toys, though, you're talking about quality.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but he kind of dropped the ball when he first started that line, though. I mean, ever since that Batman gaff, in my opinion, it kind of was a signifier for like the quality.
That was Austin's bellwether right there.
It was just a red flag, man. I was like, what? Because McFarlane, I'm like
the belt or something.
Yeah, the belt,
like
the first.
Yeah, the miscolor. Yeah, it was the wrong color, I think.
No, it's just the wrong belt.
Oh, it was the wrong belt.
They were using that basically took Batman the Animated Series Batman, like the main one that ran through like the first couple of seasons, but then took the one from the final season. Remember when he changed the suit and he had just like the black bat on the chest, and the belt was pouches instead of it just like a solid yellow belt. They put that pouches belt on him instead for some strange reason.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, and to me, I don't like that belt. I like the Animated Series belt.
You're such a stickler for accuracy.
Okay. Oh Lord, I'm sure if one of your Cobra commanders didn't have the right your bandolier on them, you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Holy crap! I just realized it.
No! He just throws it.
One last thing about Suicide Squad. How did y'all like how they characterized or recharacterized Rick Flag in the film?
Yeah, I hate that he died. To be honest, I mean, I know
in a good way
he had to.
Yeah,
but
I hated it in a good way. Is that I accept it, but it's one of those deaths that it's a gut punch when it happens.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad I grew up reading. Rick Flag was the leader. He was the guy who kept everybody in line, and he's just been there ever since.
Yeah.
So it just kind of bummed me out. I know they kind of gave James Gunn, hey, this is your movie. Do what you want to do. Let's see what you can come up with.
Yeah. Well, it also played into that, that arc that Waller set up at the beginning was, tells him he's going to be, he's going to lead the team. And he says, I'm not a leader, so I'll make you one. And then by the end of it, he stepped up and, she even admitted it to him. He's like, what did I tell you? I told you I'd make you a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was. That's one thing I'll tell you. A standout role in that movie was Amanda Waller, because Viola Davis playing that character is good enough. Like she's born to play that role, and then she's just how manipulative she is. She's so scary and manipulative.
Well, I love that she got to really let loose too. Because she was much more subdued in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
This one, especially in the high energy moments, like when she was flipping out on them going back to take on Starro, when she was like. She was getting. She was screaming so much at one point. I thought like she was bleeding from her lips. I think it was just the inside of her mouth that I was just noticing. Just more. Maybe it was because she was getting angrier. But I was actually
getting scared though that she was going to kill one of them for real. Like I thought it was going to be another death there. Like she was going to take one of them out. And I'm like, don't do it. Yeah. Because that was a tense scene.
But but back to Rick Flag. I did like that. Gunn acknowledged the first movie because he did play with the history of him and Harley, like that they've maybe worked more than once since that first movie. Because I love the idea that that wasn't Waller's idea to go back for Harley. That was all Flag. When he found out when she was alive, he dropped everything that could all wait. He wanted to go, help. He didn't want to leave her behind. I like that they played with that, and I loved the little interaction when she came and told surprised them. The little moment on Margot Robbie's face when he tells her we're coming to rescue you. She's so taken aback by it. She's like, "Oh, you were gonna see me."
Yeah.
Like she was like, I think it hit her because not too many people would come back to save her, come back for her like that. And she just went and
Well, plus she's used to such an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
It's kind of a one-sided, like love fest here.
Yeah. And that's what I liked about
nice.
that was good about Flag though, because like Ratcatcher, he was one of the characters that was very pure, pure-hearted almost. They're very altruistic characters. They did things because they are right, and then it can't, it affected other people too. So got Bloodsport to do the right thing and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I think overall, James Gunn was just a good pick for the movie. He seems like after Guardians of the Galaxy, he seems like he's good with ensemble cast and he's good with humor. And you can tell he's fearless. He'll do anything. Like if it's, especially if the more like it's like you said, if it's straight from the comic, and if it's just outraged, like you would normally say, oh, that doesn't fit in a movie. That wouldn't go. That you can put that in a movie. He's going to be the kind of person that goes like, no, I'm going to put that in my movie. And I just feel like he was a good choice. I would love to see more Suicide Squads from him.
Well, and he has a great eye for directing. Because
he does.
There's something with Marvel movies also, especially, I'd say more now today, where with how they're almost manufactured, so it's harder to really capture a director's vision more than just the producers and writers' vision right now. And like for me, the Marvel movies right now have become more like a TV series where it's more the writers and producers, almost like a showrunner show instead of fully a director's vision. But James Gunn, I think, is one of the few where you can really see his style shine through.
Oh yeah,
I love that. Like even in
plus
both
he's
Guardians
gorilla
movies.
Oh yeah, no, him. Yeah. Plus he's just he's got that guerrilla style. He really doesn't have that big of a. I mean, he has a big crew, but he doesn't. I guess he's not used to those mega crews where you have like your assistant directors and all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of those movies, it's not one director really shooting everything the way they make it seem. A lot of times you'll have second unit directors and stuff that give like other parts of the movies they have to tackle.
Oh yeah,
so
well, like
he mentioned that he doesn't normally do that. He refuses to do that. But with this movie, he had to do that a little bit. But he was like, the team he had was so good. Like they were, and they knew exactly what he wanted. And then I read somewhere where he was talking about the notes from the studio were really good. They never gave him notes on like the gore and all that kind of. They never really commented. It was more of just like making sure that things in the story were clear. Like make sure this is apparent. And push this through. This doesn't stand. Like I can't tell this enough. Like maybe we need to. He was like any notes, and it was all his choice whether or not he wanted to take them. But he was like all the notes were usually pretty positive and like good. I mean, I thought that was a really cool sign that he had a good experience directing it. And saying that it was a good time directing it. It seems like, I mean, obviously he's got a great reputation. It's definitely one of those things where you sit back and think about it and you're like, Disney made a huge mistake. I mean, they obviously saw that, but I mean, I'm glad that DC got a hold of him and let him contribute. So now I would like to see more of his contributions to that DC universe.
Well, he's already in talks for another movie, not Suicide Squad though, right?
I've heard. Well, all that I've seen so far is they said I think people misinterpreted the question because someone said if you were to have, I think the question was along the lines if you had any or if you've talked with Warner Brothers about other stuff, what would it be or something like that. But the answer was something. It was not what you'd expect. So it sounds like he's maybe been in talks maybe for a property that hasn't been used before, or that would be surprising for him to be directing. But
everybody's saying either Gotham City Sirens or Secret Six.
That could be interesting if he did Gotham City Sirens. Secret Six could be good too. But would they do Secret Six? Because they always seem very Suicide Squadish to me, except that they don't have the the Waller behind them. You know, what would be the difference really between those two
Characters.
groups? I mean, well, what's the motivation for the Secret Six? From what I remember, like I'm not as familiar with them.
It's been so long. I will say this is all I can remember. Gail Simone wrote the Secret Six with Bane and Catman and that group. It was some of the best comics I've read. So if you haven't read Secret Six from Gail Simone, go find it, go read it. It's really, really good. With that said, I can't remember what it was about. I just remember it being like one of those books that I had to wait. I couldn't wait till the next issue came out because it was that good. It's been so long ago. It was mid 2000s, when it came out. So I can't really remember.
I wonder if all that speculation is just because we've really only, when it comes to these big franchises, we've only seen him really handle ensemble pieces like Guardians and this. I wonder if there's any chance it could be something that's more singular, like a single character. That's what I'm kind of wondering.
It'd be interesting to see. I mean, it would be interesting to see him tackle like a single character kind of story. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well,
let's hit up the hauls. I know I don't have anything this week, but
what are we hauling? Now, I actually do have one thing. It's only one thing, but my wife got super excited. We had been trying. We had ordered this through ThinkGeek, and it has been on back order. Like it's just been delayed and delayed and delayed, and we thought it was never going to come out, and finally,
I know what it is.
Come across the store and found a Scarlet Witch from WandaVision. So.
It took her own series to finally get the title.
I know, man. Yeah. And but I'm telling you, this figure looks really good. Like I like her face sculpt. Her face sculpt is nice.
What if? Never mind.
Suit looks good. It's got a piece of the, I guess, Falcon's suit. Like I guess was it a Build-A-Figure or something?
Yeah, it's just for the wings that go on to the Sam Wilson.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah,
cool. Okay.
Yeah. Very interesting. Have they ever done a Build-A-Figure like that before, where it's just
that I've heard.
An accessory for another figure, basically?
Well, or did they do that with the Vulture?
I think they did do something.
Spider-Man: No Way Home. I mean, Homecoming.
Is that all for you, Austin?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Well, this came in this week, and I was really excited that this big boy came. King Shark, Suicide Squad.
I want that. I've been seeing I'll see the pieces of him in the other figure boxes, and I'm just like, I just want him. Where did you get that from?
Walmart. He's an exclusive with Walmart, and he sold out pretty quick. So I was glad I was able to get a pre-order on him.
Nice.
So
King Shark. I'm looking now.
And while I'm here is the Bat Shuttle. Finished.
Built. You finished it. Oh wow.
I loved it. Yeah, it's a lot like those the Lambda class shuttles.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of, I mean, I'm assuming it's just like a alteration of the first shuttles they came up with in the Clone Wars, and then it's like going towards the Lambda shuttles. Yeah. But I love that design. That design just looks wicked. I like the cockpit of it and stuff. Yeah. Just looks really good.
Yeah, it's crazy. The cockpits, so like the cockpit's actually connected to the riser in the back, so it all comes up as one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that is
man,
cool.
That looks really cool.
Yeah. Then it goes back down. Just put it back down, and you're golden.
What?
That is cool.
That looks pretty dope.
More useful than TDK.
That was funny too.
That was good.
Hey, Nathan Fillion is like he got a part where he got to have the funniest death I think of all the characters.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good.
Well, before we get to did anybody watch Titans today? Season 3?
I've never watched Titans.
My wife watches it. She watches it, but I haven't seen it.
I guess I need to finally give it a shot.
I don't like the guy who plays Batman, but other than that, it's good.
You don't like?
Oh, they got a Batman in there.
Batman.
They've got a Batman in there now.
It's the guy who plays Jorah Mormont from Game of Thrones. Jorah.
Okay.
He's Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting choice because he kept the blonde hair too, didn't he? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good note to leave on, guys. Well, everybody,
Whatever.
get your toys. Hug them close.
That's right. That's right.
I love you.
Love you too.
Later.
All right,
days.
talking to
everybody.
me?
Have a good week, okay?
Are you talking to them?
I'm talking
love
to
you.
everybody. You, my family, my loved ones, the fans, the fan. whoever.
The fan.
The fan.
Hey, the fan. Hey, we see you.
Hey. All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.